For those that don't know me, my name is Matt Mason. I'm the navigator based in TJ. We have quite a few of our navigators here as well. What I would ask is if you are, if there's a question that comes up during the presentation, if you want to put that in the chat, and or there is the Q&A function, please ask a question there, so that we'll be able to track these, and then hopefully during the panel and also the Q&A section be able to address your questions. So that's just the one thing that I would point out.
Beautiful. Thanks, Matt. And I have this QR code here. If you didn't see the link to the attendance survey in the chat, please just really quickly pull out your phone and get that survey. It's just a good way for us to see who's here, to also hand out the Grubhub gift cards for those of you that signed up. And then, yes, so if you can do that as well now, you'll see this QR code later in the presentation also. And then just a few community guidelines before we get started. As Matt mentioned, submitting questions. So many of you are probably experts at this, but you can just ask a question. Matt will kind of monitor that. And then also, more importantly, for when we do our panel with our apprentices, you can go to change layout and go to spotlight, and that will help, because we have so many of us here today, that will help you see directly who is talking. And they will be the stars of the show. So make sure you can do that as well before we have our panel. Okay, so the apprenticeship program, why you guys are all here, is in partnership with CareerWise Colorado. If you go through the application process, you will do this all through the CareerWise Colorado application. This isn't just for DPS students, it's also for other school districts, other high school students as well. It is an immersive 3-year program that allows students the opportunity to combine professional work experience with their high school education. So we are actually able to fit a job into your high school schedule. Students that complete apprenticeships, these are kind of our 4 main things we always talk about. So of course, our number 1 priority is that you'll earn your high school diploma. You'll graduate with that after you're a senior. The potential to earn industry certifications. So I'll show you the industries, but there's an options with certain employers that you will be able to earn an industry certification on top of already being paid with that employer. So over the course of the 3-year apprenticeship, you can earn approximately $40,000 to $50,000 in salary throughout the 3 years. Your starting pay is the minimum wage, and you have an ability to earn more over the course of the 3 years as well. And most importantly, meaningful experience. So skills, developing skills that can be taken with you from industry to industry, learning about the professional workforce, and meeting people in your job as well that can ultimately help you build your career and or go to college or earn another certificate. The primary pathways in apprenticeships are going to be, oops, that's a hanging G, advanced manufacturing, education, financial services, information technology, you'll see down here, business operations, and then hospitality, unfortunately, due to COVID, is not hiring this year, but typically we do have hospitality apprenticeships. And then new this year is maintenance technology and property management. So we will have a handful of apprenticeships related to real estate. As you learn more about this program and as we set you up with your high school navigator, they can really help you dive into what these jobs really look like in each of these industries. Also, what I will add, a lot of people, students can be hesitant. Of course, 3 years is a long time, and that's totally understandable. But it also, one of the main things is that it's an options multiplier. So what does that mean, options multiplier? So you can, go straight into your career, maybe even get hired by the employer, by your apprenticeship employer. And some people just love working so much that they want to keep doing that, and they realize that they don't need a 4-year degree to do that. So you can start your career. What you can also do is continue into higher education. So you don't, just because you do an apprenticeship program does not mean that you give up on college at all. In fact, a lot of students do both at the same time. In their apprenticeship, they take in their apprenticeship they take college classes as well as the apprenticeship program. So that's what it's, so you can do both higher education or go into your career. Sorry, I'm just getting messages that people are having a hard time joining, but I'll keep going for right now just to get through this part. So how it works, at high school, year 1, you'll be in high school 3 days a week. You'll be on your job 16 hours a week, and then your school schedule will kind of look the same. Essentially, the apprenticeship program takes place of the elective credits that you currently have in your high school schedule. So this is kind of a visual of what those could look like based off of the bell schedules that you have right now at your high school. But again, your high school navigator can help you with what your schedule will look like, along with your counselor as well. So eligibility to participate, be a current sophomore or a junior, close to on track to graduate. The only reason we have that there is so that we can actually fit the apprenticeship program into your school schedule. Of course, one interest in one or more of the apprenticeship industries is a must. We would hate for you to be in a job that you don't like for 3 years. And then eligibility to work in the US as well. So if you have questions about this, again, we can answer that later as well. Okay, so that was a very quick overview, general overview of the apprenticeship program. Before we kind of jump into and learn the most from our current apprentices, I just wanted to do a reminder. As they're talking, please do Q&A if you can. And then if you can, change your layout to spotlight so you can see our apprentices up close.
Emily,
Yes.
just as an update, you can stop screen. You can show that for sure. But I'm not seeing the function for the Q&A that I can see the questions. So if we want to have someone put the questions in the chat, we'll be able to read that. So I apologize. I'm not sure why.
No, that's okay. That might be something on my end that I need to do. So I'll look at that after I stop sharing. So I will stop sharing. I just wanted to quickly, these are just some cute photos of our apprentices and which year they are in and which high school they are either currently attending or they have graduated from. So without further ado, I'll stop sharing and have them introduce themselves. Oops, sorry. Okay. Ooh, that was fast. All right, people. Do I have Jabez here?
Yeah, you do.
Thank you. I see Lorena. Narai. I see you, Miss. And then Ebenezer.
Yep.
Okay. Yay. I haven't seen Ebenezer in a really long time, so I'm excited he's here. Okay, so first question, guys, if you could just go around and introduce yourselves, which company you work for, and then just a brief description of your role there. Lorena, we can start with you.
Hi, my name's Lorena Medina. I am in my second year already. I am from Northeast Early College, and I'm a senior in high school, so I'm gonna be graduating soon. I have been accepted to a few colleges, so I'm excited for that. And I'm kind of like in a stressful moment because like it's like scholarships and stuff, but it's going good. I want to study business, but I want to more specifically focus on accounting. So I was hired in Home Advisor. It's a company here in Denver. So they're like mostly connecting homeowners and service professionals for any homeowner need and any like home renovation. So it's just, it expands on that. So I'm in the accounting area, and I like it because there's like a different, thank you. There's like a whole bunch of departments within the accounting. So it's not only like getting like, oh, just accounts receivable, like the money that's coming in, but I also get to see different aspects of it. So I get a really well-rounded knowledge of it. So yeah, I really like it so far. And my title is accounting apprentice clerk. So it's, I mean, it goes over that. So yeah, that's me.
Beautiful, thank you. Jabez, do you want to go next?
Yeah, of course. My name is Jabez Johnson. I go to school at DSISD, which is Denver School of Innovation and Sustainable Design. Always a long name, but I work at Pinnacle Assurance, and I am in the IT department, and IT is a broad range of stuff. And what I do is robotics and automation. So not like actual robots that drive around. I create processes within computers to help people within our company, and yeah, it's really fun. And I'm just glad to be working there.
Beautiful, thank you. Ebenezer, how about you?
Hey everyone. I graduated this year. No, actually last year. Sorry. And from Northeast, and I'm almost in my second year in the apprenticeship, and I work for Frontier. I do the ITQA job, where they train you to test software and see if you find bugs and stuff like that. So that's what I do right now.
Thank you. Last but not least, Nairai, can you share?
Hello, everyone. My name is Narain Navarro. I work at Pinnacle Assurance. My job title is Claims Apprentice, and I am working on being on the customer service team as well. I graduated from high school last year from JFK, and for the most part, my job just consists of calling providers, setting appointments with other people at my work to make sure the work that I'm doing it correctly. I work with a lot of adults, so my work is pretty much sending a lot of emails, sending out mileage reimbursements, and I am right now in my second year. So right now I'm looking at my pathway with the claims team and the customer experience team, and hopefully one day I get a full-time job because I love I love my job.
Awesome. On that same note, I will stick with you. Why did you decide to join the apprenticeship program? And were you initially hesitant at all in joining? And if so, how come?
I decided to join the apprenticeship program because of the experience. A lot of adults growing up around me told me that in the workforce for the future, you need experience, and that experience is the most important thing. So I thought, looking into my high school career, that if I took on a job while I'm doing high school, I will be able to be settled in and focus in school, because in the apprenticeship program, you have to be attending classes and you have to be having good grades. So that kept me in line to graduate high school. At the beginning, I was very hesitant. I did not think I would be working with a lot of like adults and I would be trusted with work. In the past, I did 2 internships, and in those internships, they kind of babied me. So now in the apprenticeship, I feel like I have more control of what my future will have in my career, and I feel like I have a lot more freedom for the work that I'm doing.
Thank you. Jabez, could you answer that question for us? Why did you decide to join the apprenticeship program, and were you ever hesitant in joining?
Yeah. So at first, I actually knew nothing about the apprenticeship program till about a few months before I actually joined it. I was very confused in what I wanted to do with my life going into high school, and especially I've always had a love for computers, and that's not an easy workforce to get into. You gotta have experience and you gotta know things to do things like that. So I looked around, and then that's when my school recommended me to the apprenticeship program. And I was just like, oh, this is a great opportunity, and I can't wait to actually get into it. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to, and it was a lot of stuff like that. And I really was hesitant, like a lot, because the first thing that they started off with was, this is a 3-year commitment, and you're going to have to be in this program for 3 years. And I was scared because I'm like, oh, that's a year after high school. What if I want to go out of state or something? What if I want to do something else? But then when I actually joined the program, I realized that, like, oh, it's one, very flexible, and 2, it's just a really fun place to be in, and I love it.
Thanks for sharing. Okay, Lorena, I'm going to skip to you with a new question. What is it like to work with adults and meet their expectations in your position?
Okay, so I think it's just a different experience. I've never actually had like a real job before, so I don't know how to compare it to other things like Narai did with past internships. But it feels great. I actually thought going into this it was gonna be like a thing where they're like, oh, they're just giving me like the scraps of work or like what they don't want to do, you know? And so I kind of was like, I wanted to see, I was expecting to see that there you go. I was expecting to see that. But honestly, I've gotten a lot of trust in the work that we do, because honestly, you're doing real actual life work. And for in my example, I'm working with real life money, and like, what if I make a mistake and stuff like that. So it's different because they don't treat you like a kid, or at least in my company, they haven't treated me like that. They've given me a lot of trust with the work that they do. They treat me like an actual employee because I am an employee, and it's just great to feel welcome there, but also to be looked as an equal. Because, I mean, yeah, yeah. So that's it.
Thank you. Ebenezer, can you answer that question for us? What is it like to work with adults and meet their kind of your workplace expectations?
I would say, I mean, in the beginning, it wasn't that easy as I thought, because I've been around. I mean, I'm a musician, so I'm always I'm like around all these adults and stuff like that. But when I got in there, and then I had to work with all these professional people with all their degrees and stuff like that. I mean, it took us 3 months before they actually trusted us to work on a real um, project, because they don't want you to mess with people's tickets and stuff like that. So it took us like three months plus before they started to allow us to work on real stuff. But I mean, in overall, I'll say it's cool. They are more flexible, and they know that we are all students. And I mean, they were more flexible than I
Okay, I'm gonna I'm going to stick with you, Ebenezer, on this next question. What do you gain from this experience, and what has been the best part of the program for you?
I mean, the best part is I'm making money. I mean, nah, the best part is I get to I'm having real experience and stuff like that, and I'm enjoying it. And I mean, I didn't think I could get this far though, because I was still doubting if I was still sticking because I have school stuff, I have my own life, I have a lot of stuff going on. But I mean, at the end, I realized that I mean, it's cool and it's more flexible, and at least I'm also making some money.
Emily, can I ask a question? Because
Yes.
so
Yeah, go, Matt.
yeah, and so the thing is, there is Emily, can you see if you can?
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a common trend of like the 3-year commitment and students who are thinking about out of state. As one of our navigators, Abby, mentioned, if you are thinking about out of state and maybe on the junior level, again, this opportunity might not be for you, but let's connect with your navigator and have those conversations. But for our student apprentice, can you talk about like maybe how you process the 3-year and how you're feeling about it? Because again, that is like such a large commitment. And just give me your thoughts on that.
I could answer that.
Thanks,
So
James.
yeah, no problem. My thoughts on it is just that I think of it as like an actual job. You have to interview for it. You have to write. You have to talk to people. You have to talk to all these different people. You meet with your supervisors and things like that. And I just think that if you think of it as something that you are committed to and you like doing it, the 3-year commitment's like easy for you and it's like simple.
Sorry, Jabez. Hold on.
Yeah.
I can't see who is not muted.
It's Monk R6.
Okay.
Can Monk
Sorry.
R6 please
Sorry.
mute
I got
yourself?
it.
Thank
I got
you.
it. Sorry, everybody. Go ahead, Jabez.
No, yeah. So it's just that if you think of it as like an actual job, and if you just make sure you have your schedule, I think that schedule is a big part. Make sure that all of that's put in place. You can get through the 3-year commitment pretty easily, and I think that it shouldn't scare you. It sounds scary. Oh, I'm forced to be in this place for 3 years. I can't leave. But when you think about it in the way that's like, well, not only are you getting skills that most teenagers can't get and most adults don't even have right now, um, I think it's like a win-win situation. Yeah, you're in here for 3 years, but you also get this big improvement and big jump start in life.
Thanks, Jabez. Lorena, do you want to answer that also? Kind of how you process joining a 3-year program?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if I processed it yet because it's such a great like opportunity. Um, I just think if you're willing to give like well not give but like spend 3 years of your life in working in like the pathway you want to like are looking forward to, because maybe when I okay, let me recollect my thoughts. When I started here, I didn't really know what I wanted to do like for my future, and I was like thinking of accounting because my mom has like this business and she does accounting and multi-services and everything. So I kind of like went into it just like, oh, let me see what comes out of it, and but honestly, it's been great. I think as you go along, you forget about it being a commitment, and you, at least in my experience, I have loved working here, and I want to know more. Like one thing gets me to another, and I just want to know more. I have had a lot of responsibilities so far, and it opens your mind up to like more possibilities, and also it opens up your network, because it's not only you're working in this job and everything, but you're also meeting new people and making new connections. And maybe if you don't want to, if what you're working in, maybe you don't want to do that all your life, you have connections and you can go another way. But it's just an awesome opportunity. And like Jabez said, don't think of it as like a, oh, I'm gonna do it for 3 years, or oh, because if you're thinking that way, then it's probably, you're not gonna have the best time. So I would say go into it with an open mind, an open heart, and think positively, because if you're gonna drag yourself into it, it's just, nothing's gonna be like, you know. So yeah, that's how I experienced it.
That's good advice just for life too. So thank you, Lorena. All right, Natari, can we do one more question? How do you balance work, school, and life, given this commitment?
In the beginning, I would mix a lot of work and school. But then I thought about it, and school is school and work is work. So when I would have homework to do, I would do it at school, at my school time, and I wouldn't try to bring homework home. And I know it's hard right now, remotely and stuff, but when I did do college last semester, that's how I thought about it. My school time was school time, and my work time was work time. So I didn't try to intertwine them. And that meant that if at night I needed to put time to do homework, that's what I did. And for work, I had my schedule set, which was from 12 to 5. And that's the time I would work, and I wouldn't try to distract myself with anything else. And then intertwining life into that, I would do the same thing. I would try to engage. Right now, like I try to engage with my family. I try to like make time with them when my days are off. So I try to have my whole schedule set out so I don't drive myself crazy, especially now in the time that we are. I spend my time a lot on Zoom, and sometimes I feel so exhausted because like on Thursdays, those are my busiest days. I have so many meetings from the morning till the afternoon that I outburn myself. And sometimes I just like, I have to block out my calendar and be like, you know what? I want to set time for myself to do work for my job. So I will block out some time and be like, no one can set meetings during that time because they have to respect that it's my time I have to work. So just having boundaries with other people and yourself about how you want to set your schedule and how you want to see yourself succeed.
Thank you. Zoom fatigue, Google Meet fatigue, that's a real thing. Ebenezer, I know that you have, you're a musician, you're always doing other gigs and things like that. Can you kind of talk about how you've been able to maintain, your schoolwork, work, and then your outside jobs also?
Okay. I would say for my I try to get my school done by Friday, and but I also work on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays at the same time. And then for Saturdays and Sundays, I use that for gigs and stuff. But with school and my work and stuff, my job, they're so flexible that if you tell them, hey, I have this project or I have school stuff, I have assignments and stuff, they don't stress you at all. They tell you, hey, okay, get your school stuff done first, and then just let me know when you're free and stuff. So they are more flexible with me. So I mean, I get a chance to get more of my school stuff done than even work. Work, I mean, I get some done, but they are more flexible and and more easy on me.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, our last question, real quickly. So obviously everybody in this room is learning about the program, thinking about applying. What would you say to someone who is interested in becoming an apprentice, or best piece of advice for them? Jabez, do you want to start us off on that one?
Sure. I think I have a few words that are like, just go for it. One is an interesting experience. It's really hard to get something like this now in life. Like you can't ask someone who's like 25 years old, oh, did you have a chance to go work at an insurance company at age 16? And so I think that it's really something you really should try if you have the chance to. And a word of advice is, just make sure you have a good schedule down and you're prepared, because it's not like talking with your friends. You're talking with CEOs, supervisors, like adults who went to college for this position, and you get to come here and work in that same position as an apprentice. So I think that one is a great experience. I think that you really should try it out, and you should just prepare yourself for the ride.
Ebenezer, can you go real quick?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I wouldn't even. I mean, just go for it. I mean, go for it, and I think everyone will like it. Because I thought I'll have a lot of difficult times and stuff like that, but as I'm in and stuff like that, I realized that, oh, I mean, they really, really understand me and stuff like that. So I would say go for it and you will not regret, because at my workplace, I really get to have fun a lot. So I'm recommend anyone who's trying to apply. I mean, go for Frontier if you have the option. I'll go for Frontier because there's a lot of good stuff that you will get. You get to eat for free. You get to go to places. You get to get tickets. I mean, it's fun. It's so fun over there. So I'll say go for it and you enjoy.
I agree. I'm jealous of a lot of places our apprentices work. Lorena?
I mean, yeah, like everyone's like Jabez and Ebenezer said, just go for it. I mean, it's an awesome experience. Not anyone or not everyone can say they've had the opportunity to work in one of these big companies at age 16 in high school, but also finish their like high school career. I mean, it's awesome. Everyone's friendly. They're so respectful. They're so understanding, and they just like they're so flexible with it too. It's just great. I say go for it, but also like keep in mind, like even though it's work and everything in school and in life, also take some time for yourself, because just the burnout is just like it's not good, you know. So yeah. Go for it. It's an amazing experience, and if I would do it again in my next life, I would. So yeah.
All right, last but not least, Nari, can you close us out?
Just like how everyone said, just do it. You have nothing to lose, especially if I saw a lot of questions that said if I wanted to change, and there is that possibility. But when I started the apprenticeship, they told me I would be in claims, and I was like, it's gonna be so boring. I knew I was gonna hate it. And if you ask me now, a year later, I love it. I love what I'm doing. I feel like I have a purpose, and I'm not like how everyone said I'm doing the little work. I'm doing a lot of like adult things, and I'm learning a lot too. I was able to get credential, an insurance credential, and that credential will be able to be used in the future. So if I do look into an insurance job and it's not at Pinnacle, and I look for it for another place, I will be able to use this credential, and it will go on with me forever. So things like that, like the job offering you college credit and credentials, is really important, because first they're really expensive, and college is really expensive, so they're just trying to help you, and there's a lot of support. And if you feel the outburn, they also suggest you to take time off, and I mean, just do it. Why not?
Matt, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say one last thing. So this is great. And great conversation, and thank you all for being here and staying through. The one thing that I would just point out, to like really fine point it, is that our apprentice like can have other jobs. they can go to college. We do have apprentices that do all those things. So with students who are maybe thinking about like, how can I do other things? It is possible. But as you heard from the current apprentice, you do have to have a schedule. You do have to manage your time well. And those are some of the things that you can work with your navigator to be like, how do I do this better? But really want to hone in on that because that is a common trend in the questions that I'm seeing. And just a final point that I really want to name, that you can go to college. If anything, a lot of our employers, and we'll probably talk about this too, will help pay for college. Tuition reimbursement is huge. And then you also have those benefits of credentials, high school credit, and getting paid up to $40,000, $50,000 in the course of your time working and getting that experience.
Thanks, Matt. Okay, I just wanted to thank my panelists, our lovely apprentices. Thanks for letting me text you all week long. Sorry if I'm annoying, but we appreciate you being here. If we have any other specific questions for our apprentices, maybe I can send those questions to them later. But just appreciate it and keep doing your thing. Hang in there and take time for yourself. Okay, so I think we will shift back into just talking about what the specific jobs that are posted right now. And then we can kind of, maybe if there's some broad or themes in our questions that I can answer at the end, we can do that as well.
So Emily, do you want me to put that that document in there, or are you gonna show that real quick?
Which document?
Oh, the document with current positions. I thought we had that.
Oh yeah, I have slides for those today, but we will also share the document with you all that has all of the jobs and the links to them at the end of this. So yeah, actually, Matt, you can share that right now as I talk about it.
Even better.
Great. And I just wanted to, one thing that Matt mentioned that I do want to hone in on as well is, of course, you get industry experience, the training wage, and potential to earn industry certifications. But one thing I do want to highlight is that you can continue to take college courses as well throughout the apprenticeship, and employers, some employers may pay up to $4,000 in college credit over the course of your 3 years as well. In addition to, some companies also allow you to earn industry certifications, which like our apprentices say, that's something you can carry with you the same as you carry a degree with you, carry your diploma with you, that you can continue to put on your resume for future jobs as well. So employers do help with the college credit. So I just wanted to do that one more time. Okay. Our lovely apprentices, thank you for that. So now current openings that we have. And again, applying for apprenticeships is very similar to applying to a job out in the real world once you guys graduate high school or have your bachelor's degree or anything like that. It's very similar. So it can have and I kind of saw some questions about level of competitiveness. It can be competitive in certain areas because, one company may only be hiring for one slot. And along with, everybody, all the students in DPS that are applying, at times there are students in Cherry Creek schools that are also applying for those jobs. But that's really what your high school navigators are there to assist you through that application process, and hoping you can kind of put your best application forward. So again, business operations, financial services. Matt should have shared the document that also links to all of these job descriptions on the CareerWise website. But these are just, these ones right here are currently posted and accepting applications as soon as possible. And then these companies will continue to be posted throughout March and April for business operations and financial services. Also within business operations and IT, actually, I just wanted to highlight separately that our City of Denver DIDO department is hiring 10 to 11 slots and of only DPS students. So this is a huge partnership that CareerWise has worked on, and it's a huge priority for us to see some of our students in working in the city of Denver in these different departments. So I also wanted to highlight that as well. Advanced manufacturing, these are the only current positions posted right now with Intertech Plastics and Intertech Medical, but we should see more positions coming soon. Namaste Solar and Functionware have worked with us in internship programs if you have done that before, and they're really just amazing companies as well. Information technology, so again, if you love sitting at your computer, taking your computer apart or learning how to code, anything like that. This is perfect opportunity for you because you can really work on some of those certifications that IT is requiring, and you can be able to learn new languages, coding languages, as kind of everything evolves so quickly. And then education. So getting started on your path as a future educator, students that are interested in the education apprenticeship would become a paraprofessional at one of our DPS elementary schools. This posting actually will be straight through the DPS website, which your navigator can help you with as well. We are still waiting for the full list of elementary schools that will be participating this spring, but we should have a better idea throughout March. Okay, and then next steps kind of before, if I can answer any questions for you all. But again, this QR code is actually for our interest survey if you have not completed it already. The interest survey is just like your #1 step to getting started. It gives us kind of your general idea of career interests and allows our navigators to follow up with you to look at jobs that are posted so that you can apply. Again, once you meet with your navigator, second step is to complete a resume. Third step is to go on the hub. So the hub is where you will see all the jobs posted, and you create a profile there that you can attach to all of your applications. So again, want to highlight that I don't remember what I was going to say, but that's okay. Build a profile, and if you can right now or today or tomorrow, please complete the interest survey so that we can follow up with you.
Can I add that to that, Emily?
Yes. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, no problem. I would just encourage all students here that, again, from what you just heard, to take a second and fill out that interest survey. I know that typically when things don't get done in the moment, they don't happen. That's true for me as a professional and a person. So if you could just take a second to fill out that interest form, that's going to be really helpful. And so what I would also say is I'm going to put a second link that's going to be the how-to guide. So if you are seriously considering doing an apprentice or wanting to explore that as an option, the guide is going to help you navigate how to do it yourself. But then your navigator at your given high school will help support you in that process as well. And so with that being said, again, please take a second to fill out that survey. I'm going to get the link for the how-to guide in a minute.
And last thing I'll say that I thought I forgot to say, the applications and the job postings kind of come in on a rolling basis. So, you know, there will be more jobs coming in through March, through April, even through May sometimes. So it's always important just to keep watching the hub, and again, we can get you that link where you can kind of see all of the apprenticeship postings, watching the hub, and then ideally, if you are hired for an apprenticeship, we would love to kind of have everybody hired by the end of May. So I just wanted to provide that brief timeline for you all.
Emily, can you speak to how they access the hub, what steps they need to take to get to that point?
Yes, so I'll actually just stop. You guys can still see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. And this is actually one of the links that Matt just sent out of the how-to guide for how to access and how to create your profile on the hub. So what you guys would do just on the CareerWise Colorado site is just go to I'm a student, and that is actually how you will fill out the profile. I do want to pull up I'm not in the right browser to pull up the jobs. So let me just stop sharing real quick. Ooh. So while I pull that up, are there other questions that we can answer for people? Kind of themes or anything that came up?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. I was reading the description for the Craig Hospital apprenticeship. I think that's how you say it. And it was talking about how it started. It starts this summer. And it's asking you to be committed to like a certain timeline, I guess. Oh, I don't know what I'm kind of asking, but so when school starts after summer, do you continue the apprenticeships for that hospital, or does it end? I guess.
Yeah, so if you are hired for an apprenticeship, ideally, like I said, you'll know if you're hired by the end of May. You usually start your apprenticeship, let's say July, and training kind of starts for your apprenticeship in July. So that's kind of your initial start to your 3-year apprenticeship. So what happens is when you're hired in May or in April or whatever, then we start working with your counselor to get that apprenticeship fit into your high school schedule. So that next school year, whether you are a junior or whether you are a senior next school year, you will know already that apprenticeship will fit into your schedule. So you'll be like, okay, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, I'm at school. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm at my apprenticeship. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other similar questions?
I have a question about the form that we're supposed to fill out.
Sure.
So for the school information where we're supposed to select our high school, I don't see the school that I go to. So does that mean that I'm like ineligible for the program, or
What is your high school?
East High School?
Oh, no, you're definitely eligible. All high schools are eligible. If you don't see it, there is a full list of high schools in that interest survey.
It's there. It's just listed as East, not Denver East.
Oh, thank you. Teamwork. Let me know if you still can't find it though. But yeah, East High School should be there for sure.
Yeah, it's not showing up on my. Oh, never mind. I see it. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and then just real quick, I'm going to show you how. I'm actually just going to put this link of how you can explore just the open apprenticeships. I'm just going to put the link in the chat. So you can explore the apprenticeships at any time. You don't have to have created a profile or anything like that. And then again, Matt sent out the document with the current postings as well. I update that weekly. So if for any reason you can't find them on the CareerWise site, you can always reach out to your navigator as well. Yeah, and start time for apprenticeships or things like that. I've also seen, like if you have plans over the summer, or if you're planning on doing an internship this summer or something like that, as you've heard from our current apprentices, employers are fairly flexible. You just have to kind of communicate those things ahead of time, or like, hey, I'm going on vacation with my parents this time, or something like that. If you need a different start time, or if you need to adjust your schedule in any way, we can certainly help advocate for you to get that situated with your employer. But yeah, you just have to communicate those things ahead of time, and we can usually find a solution for that. Graduation credits, I'm going to answer that really quickly because I see it right here. But yes, the apprenticeship does count as a career capstone graduation credit, which is, if you have questions about that in more detail, you just have to finish 1 year of the apprenticeship program, and that can count as your career capstone competency. So please let us know if you do have questions about that. Counselors also know about that as well if you need to ask any of your counselors. Okay, so we have the link to the interest survey that you should have seen. I'm also just going to send Matt, can you send the link to the attendance sheet real quick as well? Again, the attendance sheet is just for this event. Will help us with our 10 Grubhub gift cards. And again, now we'll kind of know what your interest is, and we'll have our high school navigators follow up with you. And then I'm just gonna, since my name says Tara Jones and that's not my name, I'm gonna put my email in here as well. I'm not directly at any school right now because I help manage the navigator team, but I would love to hear from all of you. I've gone to DPS my whole life. I'm very excited about this program. So just let us know anytime if you have questions.
Hi, Emily. Can I add something as well?
Yes, thanks, Jessie.
Hi, I'm just responding to a lot of what we're seeing in the questions. Every job is going to be a little bit different, and your schedule is going to be a little bit different. So I really encourage any of you that are interested to reach out to your navigator. I think most of us have put our information in the chat. Because every case is kind of by a case-by-case situation. So if you have an after-school activity you're a part of and you're not sure if this will work for you, that's something you can sit down with your navigator and we can figure out together, because we can't give you a straight answer that will apply to everyone, because it really depends on the school you're at, what their schedule looks like, the job that you're interested in. But I know most of our navigators are going to be really good at helping you navigate all of that and figure it out. And so it's just really good to reach out to them if you have those kind of questions. And it will hopefully answer a lot of the questions you guys have in the chat that are really going to be specific to you and the school that you're at.
All right. Yay. Well, thanks everybody for coming today. We look forward to connecting with you all further, and really appreciate you spending your evening with us. Jesse Johnson, I'm going to answer that question really quickly. How many hours a day is the average apprenticeship? So it's 16 hours a week. So very similar to what our other Jesse just said, that you can kind of work out schedules vary and by school, by employer, but it is 16 hours a week in your first year. Great.
And so one of the things, I just want to say thank you all for being here tonight. It's not even tonight, this afternoon. But if you have some more questions and you want to verbalize that, I'm sure Emily and I will stay, and navigators will stay here. So if you want to just stay a little longer, and ask some more questions, we're open for that too.
Yes, thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank
rest of your
you.
week. Thanks.